FedEx just dropped this off. This is the Palma 2. It's a small update to the very popular Palma device from Boox. You've got the same 300 ppi screen. You've got an upgraded octa-core processor. We'll find out what that is today. It's got the Boox Super Refresh technology still, but this time a fingerprint scanner. And that's the biggest upgrade actually. Same battery size and same water resistant design. And they've sent me the white one this time, which I was kind of hoping just to distinguish between that and the Boox Palma that I already have and have been enjoying using. Because the main benefit of the Boox Palma device is about having an e-reader always in your pocket and developing the habit of pulling out something from your pocket and reading a couple of pages rather than defaulting to, as I do often on my phone, defaulting to checking whatever social media or whatever feed. For me, it's often YouTube analytics actually, or my chess moves, or generally checking whatever feed that I'm interested in at that point. So having something which is the size of the phone, and I call these ultra pocketable or sometimes like jeans pocket devices, because they fit in exactly like your phone into your front jeans pocket. Charging cable as you'd expect, and don't get confused because there is a SIM removal tool, as we often call those things, that is just for moving the TF card slot in and out. So if you were hoping the Boox Palma 2 to be a phone, then I'm afraid there's still disappointment there. But I do think this is a sensible update because previously, well, it did require you actually inputting a PIN code to get into the device, which was a little bit of a barrier when you just pull it out of your pocket and want to read a page or two. Now I hope, just like on the Z Fold 3, and one thing I really like about this phone is that the fingerprint reader is on the side there, and the phone will open in seconds and be ready to go to check whatever you want to check. So this is the Palma 1 on this side here, and that'll be easy to distinguish the two because Palma 1 will be in black and the Palma 2 in this white color here. There is a black and a white available, of course, in the Palma 2 as well. And if you're interested in one of these devices, I expect your goal is probably to change your habit from pulling your phone out of your pocket, scrolling on social media, to pulling something out of your pocket and reading a few pages. So I do think that this supports that habit. Having that fingerprint reader on the side there does allow you just to open the device very, very quickly and go ahead and start reading. I have tried a full e-ink smartphone and I did really enjoy it, but actually I found that it couldn't replace my OLED smartphone, my Z Fold 3, and partly that's because of the sheer size of this thing. It's really, really good to allow you to do so much very, very quickly and very easily. This is just a great pocket computer. But then I did find that I was still using this, but as a pocketable reader. So maybe it is the case that these e-ink phones can't fully replace an OLED phone, certainly not yet in my lifestyle. But what most people are finding is it's quite nice to have the Palma in your pocket and then your phone may be kept in your bag or your car, and you still get that barrier between you and checking it for social medias, but then it's there when you do need the full functionality of these excellent devices. You know, there's a reason why the mobile phone is so successful. So I'm going to just get signed in, I'm going to install a few apps, and then I'll be back. So this is an essential thing for anyone who wants to use their Palma with the Kindle app. You go into fonts and press more, scroll down, and you'll see use volume keys as page turn. And then you can turn the page with your thumb, which is really nice. So there we are. So I'm just going to go ahead and enroll my thumbprint now. So let's do that. Security. I'm guessing you need to have a PIN. Now let's add that thumbprint. I do think it's maybe a little bit higher up the device I'd maybe like. And the most natural place to hold the phone, I'd be holding it a bit further down. Try and hold it naturally and reach. Okay, so let's go ahead and lock. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. And yeah, you don't need to click it, it'll just read it once it's there, and yeah, it comes alive. Brilliant. So there we are, so it's the 750G. It's reading to be the same as what is in the Note Air 4C. So we've got the same actual SoC as the Note Air 4C there. That's pretty good, I think. And that is better. That is better than, that recommends the Palma 2 over the 665 look, which only goes to 1.8 gigahertz, and it recommends it over the Bigme here as well, which is a bit of an older generation of chip. Yeah, well, that's got 2.3 gigahertz, but that's a MediaTek Helio P35, which is a lower quality chip, really, in my opinion, than the Qualcomm Snapdragon 750. 8nm process versus 12nm process just dates this one as being quite a lot older, in the same sort of era as this one, 665. I do think it would have been better to have updated the Palma 2 up to the Carta 1300, but as it is, they currently share the exact same screen, the Carta 1200. It's still a 300 ppi screen, but it isn't as high contrast as the Carta 1300. And they have retained still the Boox Super Refresh technology, so you can see very, very little ghosting, very infrequent need to do full refreshes there. It's really an excellent, clean and crisp experience of an e-ink screen. It remains to be seen how that battery life performs, but I do know that they're going to ship me the latest beta firmware soon, and that should bring even better battery life performance. I think because it isn't a phone, you're generally going to download what you need and then run it essentially in airplane mode with all the connectivity off, and you should get decent enough battery life out of it. In my experience, we're talking sort of 3 days if you're using it quite a lot. However, of course, it is not a phone, and this is Bigme's first high break. Their next one coming along should even be Android 14, so there's that. And certainly if you're looking for a minimalist phone and you're thinking one of these small e-readers might do the job for you, this is currently the most compelling option because I think it is the only e-ink phone with full Google Play Store currently available for sale. We're looking at the minimal phone coming soon as well, which will have Google Play and a QWERTY keyboard, so we can look forward to that. And I have bagged that, so I should be getting one here to review on the channel. Apart from it being a phone, the Palma is better in every way when compared to the Bigme high break. They've also sent a cover, which is kind of them. This is the flip case cover, and it's exactly the same as the one that I have with the Palma, except there's a cutout for the fingerprint reader now. And I did find that case was a little bit too chunky when it was in there. I actually quite like the third-party case that I have for the Palma, which you can take the sort of insert out, and so you can have a slimmer experience, and then you can have something that closes over the screen to keep it protected at other times. Another thing which is better with the Boox compared to the Bigme is it does have 2 speakers. There's one at the bottom, and then there's the earpiece speaker as well, which fires as a stereo pair. That's not a front camera though, that is a light sensor. So it can change the front lighting depending on the lighting conditions. Of course, it'll be getting less bright when it is lighter outside because the more ambient light, the less front light you need. And there is a microphone on the Palma as well. So people really like this just to be the little portable e-reader and maybe their podcast place and other more mindful media consumption, let's say. So just to be really clear, the upgrades are newer processor, fingerprint reader, Android 13, and the only difference other than that is that this is now £30 cheaper, thereabouts. So if you don't really need that fingerprint reader, then you can get a really good deal on a Palma 1 still. Now I've been diving into the world of tiny e-readers recently, and I've got loads of content on these phone-sized e-readers, including this one, the Malm Ink Palm 5, which if you're balking at the price of the Palma or the high break, this one is still capable of being your jeans pocket e-reader. It is actually smaller and lighter than all of them, and it's a fraction of the price. So watch this video on screen here now to find out more about that one. Or if you want a comparison of all these devices, there's this video here.